to me, it's very tricky.
Must have some percentage of loyal women and men out there. I may say weak in their mind.
Do you think that loyalty is something that you go by?
But that's the thing, communication is key.
It's key.
In most things in life. Anything comes down to risking it for the biscuit because you never know. Because as I say, same way it didn't give me the information, you cannot control how someone feels. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. Loyalty, Charleen, is something that you don't really see that much. And as a woman, the opposite sex loyalty, to me, it's very tricky. What's your thoughts on a woman being loyal to a man? Because some men would say that they don't have any loyal women out there, and some women would say they don't have any loyal men out there.
Well, maybe right now, the loyal men with the unloyal woman and vice versa. So that's why they cannot meet them. But I'm sure I believe in God. You believe in God?
Definitely, it must have a
So they
supreme
must
being.
have some percentage of loyal women and men out there. But they probably at this time, they're not ready to be loyal to someone because we have different stages in life. But the world we live in now is a more free, I believe. So nobody really wants to be loyal. They don't need to be loyal in certain situations because owning, being unfaithful is a norm. So why, or even from my opinion, and from looking, I see a lot of men, they may pick up a guy for, owning or having side chicks and these kinds of stuff. So I may say, weak in their mind person, because for me, once you're strong in your mind, don't matter what no one says, shouldn't make you change or do anything different from what you believe.
Okay, so my perception about loyalty, relationship building, because being in sales, and then when you think about loyalty, men and women, it's very similar. So if you are loyal in one aspect, like in business aspect, and not loyal in relationship aspect, then after it wouldn't have that equilibrium balance. It would be like, one side is winning the other side. But yourself, do you think that loyalty is something that you go by?
Yes, I am. I try my best to be, because I believe in God, and I believe that's one of the things He would want us to be doing. To be loyal to yourself, to others, is a form of respect as well for me. Because you can't, especially when it comes to relationships, you can't say you're in a committed relationship and you're not being loyal to your partner.
Okay.
You can't say you in a job and you for this job and you're being loyal to your employer and then you know how it is. But in the world we live, you can't watch things as simple. You have to watch the details. Every situation is different. So it all comes down to the situation.
All right. So I love that. I would like to hear a story from you as to maybe a scenario when you were in a relationship with someone, and maybe if it ended in someone, not you or the other party, was disloyal, and how was your reaction to that situation?
Well, I am a human, so my first serious relationship, I lived with him. Cooked.
How many years?
Like, it wasn't a year, actually. It was 6 months, because within the 6 months, well, at the ending of the 6 months is when I found out from the person that he was having a relationship with her as well.
So he came out and said that?
He didn't come out and say it, but she did. And you know how it is. She can be saying certain things that is not true, because it adds up, right? But you know how people, they still had some lies in between. So then you don't know what to believe.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
But at the end, it was hurtful, because a lot of the time, people say they are being faithful while they are not being faithful. So that's the thing about it. I think now in this time, people should be able to say, I don't want to be with you alone. They could have that open conversation and say what they want. And I think that's a lot of people's problem. They don't, okay, so like if we in something, let's for instance, and I tell you, I just want to be friends with benefits, right? But you don't want to be friends with benefits. You want to have a relationship with me. But most of the time, a guy, because of embarrassment, hurt, shame, you're not going to tell me that. Because I don't want it. But maybe if you did tell me after time, that might have changed for me. But so that's like closing a door, not even letting the door be open. Because if I didn't have that information, or if I had that information, then time I could say I have somebody there and then really think how you treat me, how I'm getting treated from the person who actually that I like and realize, well, I should take a chance on this person because he's the one who actually doing the things that I deserve and need from someone. But that's the thing, communication is key. Is key in most things in life.
It's a fair factor that someone do not want to reach out and actually say how it is that they feel because they don't want to be dismissed.
Yes.
So they try to play that both sides. But when that occurred with you, how did you felt, and also how did it affect you going into a new relationship?
Well, I haven't been in like a relationship.
Oh, understood. Okay.
Oh, sorry. After being with that guy. Well, I learned I'm an observant person. So I learn about men. I spend a lot of time with guys. So you know how they are. And everybody says men are different from women. We are very similar, just like you and I. We have our similarities and then we have our differences. That's what makes me, and that's what makes you. So when you go into a relationship now, I am like, it is possible that I am going to be betrayed, horned, whatever the case is, right? But to me now, we have to come as a woman. How many years has this been happening? From the beginning of time.
Yes.
So I'm not seeing any big changes going to happen anytime soon. So you have to be either single for the rest of your life, or you have to take the chance and be with this person knowing that he may harm me, but how is he treating me? Some people will go to say, I am not going through that because they want to be the only one. They can't take the harm, they can't take the pain. But life is pain.
Yes.
I'm sure it has nobody out here who hasn't felt hurt. But when you feel hurt now, that makes you stronger if you let it. Because some people will make themselves weaker if they allow themselves. But you can make yourself stronger with that pain. You know, you experienced it already. So you know what to prepare for. Same way, you know what can be expected, what can happen. So you know you have to build up your little walls, your defense mechanisms, not to get hurt or to allow yourself to get hurt. Because sometimes we go in relationships and we are seeing the red flags and still go in.
And why is that though? Because, you know, you actually would see that with friends, maybe even yourself, and then you still keep on going. Why is that we always feel that maybe some parts there would be some sort of light through that tunnel?
You never know, and that's the thing. The same thing can come as risk. It's a risk. It's a risk. Anything comes down to risking it for the biscuit, because you never know. Because as I say, same way it didn't give me the information. So I'm not sure. I'm not going to think about it. I don't know. I may think about it, but just because I think about something doesn't mean it's true.
Right.
It's only you could now confirm, yes, I want to be with you. And then you think about it. This is what I believe. Girls may say, it may not be all because everybody is different.
Right.
But if you put in the time and, you know, you have to spend a little money, it doesn't have to be a lot of money. The same way, and then you have to know the type of girl you're dealing with, because we have the woman like me. Yes, I would love 12 dozen roses, but one still will be appreciated. You
Right,
understand?
yeah.
But they have the girls who have their high standards. For may it be because they already had those standards and not willing to go down. You can't get vexed with a girl for that, right? That's her life. You just know it's not meant to be. You move on. There are a lot of fish in the sea, and that's what a lot of people problem. They're not realizing we can move on. It's be hard sometimes, yes, but we could just move on to something new, try something new and someone new, because why waste your time with somebody and you're seeing it's not going anywhere?
I think personally the problem with that is men are physically attracted to women and women are physically attracted to men, but more on the emotional side, more on understanding an individual. So we now fall into the trap that we always feel that we need to maybe maintain that woman who think that she's high standard because she deserves it based on her physical attraction, and that is wrong.
Once you know, he said it, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it's like if I'm driving a Benz, I want a woman of high standard physically to actually complement my Mercedes Benz. And that is the thinking of most men, especially those who are considered high value men who have, the necessary finances.
He said it was wrong, and I believe it's so. But at the end of the day, people are allowed to do what they want, right? And we will always make mistakes.
Right.
But one of the things I want us in this world to do is to learn from them and try to better ourselves as individuals instead of watching other people and trying to tell them what to do. We can always advise people, but we never expect that they would do what we tell them to do, right? And we always know how people are by watching the little things. Don't watch the big thing. The little things show you how somebody really is.
Correct.
Like, simple respect to me. You say you come in, let's do this, we're going out at a certain time. You gone, something happened. I am there on my way. Nothing from you.
No call,
that is disrespectful.
Yeah.
You need to communicate and say, yo, something came up. Because some people be on their phones, they're checking the status, they're doing all these little things and say they have no time to message. But that's disrespectful. Or to me, you don't care about me.
Yeah.
Because you didn't make the effort to show, to let me know something has happened, something has changed. Yeah. And communication, as I say, is the key with a lot of the problems we're going through.
Facts. And I want to say something in terms of age supposed to bring reasoning. That is a old saying. But I still see where it have the trap that as someone get older, men and women, they tend to be even worse than from before because it's like they want to keep up with the trends, but the age is not keeping up with you because you would have your followers in maybe your 20s, but maybe when you go late 30s and 40s, those followers are no more because those followers who were in your 20s, they have become true men and true women, enter marriage, kids, and so forth. So they have family things to deal with, that time that they need to be with their family. So how do someone really overcome that negative thought that they should always be trending and embarrassing themselves and embarrassing the age that they have presently?
At the end of the day, the mind. You can't change someone's mind. You can only try your best to inform them. But we don't have control of anybody else. And that's what, the same way it comes to, to me, I always think the two sides. It comes like you're judging people because we don't believe or think they should be doing this because of their age. But why not? Because as a child, we play certain games, right? You stop playing those games, you make sure, and you're going to have to play back these games, right? Then you're going to be a grandmother and still have to play back these games, these childish games. So in life, why are we judging people because of their age and doing certain things. If it's only a matter of time, they will personally realize it's not working for them. And then they will decide what is their next step. But we make too many things that is not our problem, a problem.
Okay. So, in other words, don't be the judge. Let them go through their fears and try to correct it for themselves.
Not saying we cannot advise in a respectful way, because a lot of us will disrespect people where we have the comments and these things and we'll say it in a negative way. What we have to learn is how we say things. You can't tell anybody the most disrespectful and hurtful things, but you can tell them in a very nice way. I learned that from Harry Potter. I don't even know, familiar?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Harry Potter.
The woman, I'm not sure if it's pink she was wearing, but the little short woman, she came and she's very strict and she pretends to be so nice, but she's evil. You understand? But every time she speaks is you're not going until she angry, she vexed, she just, right? So it's how you say it. So you're not going and get vexed with her like that, but she tried literally, she probably saying she going to kill you. You understand? But she said it in such a way that you're not so you can receive that better. And a next thing my mother taught me as well, include yourself. Although, you're not personally doing something, you don't go and say, you are always doing these stupid things. You say, we have these problems that we need to see about, and it's how you say it, and include yourself. So, because we are humans, we have a defensive kind of way. So when somebody comes to tell you something negative about you, you're going to get defensive and you're going to really receive it in a way that they're trying to help you. And that's the next thing, as you say, a lot of people out here don't want to see other people be better than them.
Yes.
Right? But people, what's the word, boy? Interpret things differently. Right? While it may not be, that is the way the person really meant it.
Correct.
Right? So that is why also I'm having communication problems with my mother. She may say something, and when I interpret it as, what are you even speaking about? You understand? Because she's not being detailed and specific about what she's speaking about. So when you're vague, you need to be specific.
If I tell you that's where different eras comes in, because maybe she communicates with persons around her timing like that, and they was easily understandable of what it is that she was trying to convey. But now, as we would say, millennials, more modern times, we want to be specific with everything. So it's like that communication from that era to present wouldn't be there, so that could be serve as a challenge. And your mom is priceless, and I remember that you mentioned about the good qualities that your mom passed on to you. But if your mom wasn't present in your life, do you think that you would have the qualities, the loyalty that you mentioned about, if you're in a relationship, you're loyal to that person and so forth? Do you think you would have possessed that to this day?
It is possible, because my father is an asshole.
Okay.
I never grew up with him, but I have those negative attributes. And she's a nice person. She's the kind of pushover in a sense that she would leave you to do her something negative and not really see anything. But me and him, we cuss you out. You understand?
Okay,
And I did not live with him. So I remember some things are genetics. So it is, I'm not saying, I can't say yes or no, but it is possible that I even said if I didn't grow with her, that I may have that trait. But I'm glad I do. I hope I did if it was different.
All right.
Because it's something I believe in. Being loyal I believe in God, as I always say, right? And once you believe in God, you want to try as best to do what He wants, as best as to be Him as best you can be. Really. And that is one of the things, being loyal, being honest. It may be hard and a lot of people say they want the truth, but they don't really handle it well.
Right. Yeah.
Because they're going to get hurt from it or feel offended by it. And then the next thing, speaking of this, we need to allow people to express how they feel without judging or even saying anything negative about it. Because people, no matter You know, you may not be trying to make that person feel that way. That is how they feel. You cannot control how someone feels. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, if you can't control someone's feelings, but you could play some role in someone's present situation that they could maybe switch from negative to positive
Well, yes,
feelings.
of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Because simple thing as when I go down the road, I would smile or tell a lady looking beautiful, I like your top, and the simple things I try to do to make somebody else feel good about themselves. And if a lot of us, if every one of us did that, imagine how it would be. It would be a little nicer place to be, a little more, you'll feel good. A lot of people problem is self-esteem. And what's the next one? Self-confidence. You understand? They don't have it. So that's why they wouldn't be willing to take a chance.
All right. I love how you mentioned about self-confidence. Is it that when a man comes to a woman, he needs that level of confidence? Because sometimes in life, women say that they wouldn't go after a man needs to chase them. So when a man is chasing a woman, should he come just simple conversation, or should he come as a man of confidence to the woman, stating that, hey, I was watching across the room and it's you that I'm coming to speak with and to get to know you, and be confident in his speech?
I believe it's a balance, you know.
Right.
So you have to be confident, but if you are not a confident person, that's the thing. To be by simple thing would be yourself. If you want to go to approach someone,
do women love a man that is confident over a man that is normal?
Yes, they prefer a man who is more confident than.
So confidence is key. So to those viewers out there, women love a confident man. So if a man sees a woman that he's interested in, and he may be normal, just average, he should build that confidence.
Yes.
Yes, because the whole idea is that if you so want to be with that person, you have to put in that work, and by putting in that work is by building that level of confidence.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also want to say that, come back with the mistakes, right? We may say, I said it already, it come like a wasting time. Because you're going to waste time being with somebody and then you're not going to end up with the person. But in life, everything we experience comes down to life lessons.
Correct, yeah.
Building ourselves, making ourselves stronger. But because if we didn't go through the shit, we would know about it. So now we know those things, so we know how to move differently, not to go through that.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because if we just live in life nice and happy, what are we going to learn? Just be happy, and that's it. We have different emotions, happy, sad. Nobody is happy all the time. Nobody is happy all the time.
Despite that they look jolly all the time.
No matter if they have all the money in the world, all the girls in the world, nobody. Because life always have problems. Financially, spiritually, mentally, physically, family-wise, in the sense that somebody in your family passed away and you're dealing with that. So your best friend, all these things that everybody going through. And that the next thing I want to say, we always have to remember, don't always take things personally. Because a lot of us, we lash out on people who are close to us because that's who you have. But it's not really you are the problem. It's they have a problem and they're not dealing with it. So sometimes if somebody's disrespectful, especially if you care about the person, is disrespectful to you. Lately, I'm telling my children about you can't fight fire with fire, right? So you try and be cool and nice, and you give them time. You don't give them back attitude and these kind of things. Sometimes it's what we say back to the person could make the whole thing cool down, make the whole thing catch a flame, you know? So we have to watch ourselves. Stop studying and judging people. Let us better ourselves. Yes, we can help people, but don't forget, you can't help people who don't want help.
Yes.
Always remember that.
And in closing, What I would like for you to suggest or recommend for those young
Excuse me?
women who is growing up in life, who may not have that guidance, who may not have that father figure, that mother figure, but see someone and want to spend their time or life with them, what's the best approach that they should go about doing this without being in abuse, without being hurt? Because hurt and abuse comes, but you could prevent it or protect yourself in some way.
My advice when it comes to relationships and getting in one, you have to be one with yourself. You have to be mentally, emotionally strong. You have to be healed from past relationships in order for a future one to have a chance
Yes.
to make it. You cannot be damaged and go with someone and feel they're going to build you up. Unless that person is telling you they're willing to do that, right? Some people may say they're willing, but they still may not be capable, but they are willing to try, right? But you have to love yourself. Nobody else cannot love you unless you truly love yourself. And that's a lot of things. People looking for love from outside. Once you have that love for yourself, you're comfortable with yourself, you're one with yourself, you don't need nobody. It will just be additional,
Yeah.
It will be
additional
more.
burden on, yeah.
It will be more love you get, but you don't need that. Yeah, at least sometimes not everybody fortunate to have their mother or father, but you might have a sibling, you might have a best friend. Lean on that person and don't expect that they can be there all the time. Everybody have their own life, right? So, but once they try and they make the time when they can, appreciate that, you know. But to go in a relationship, for it to work, you'll have to actually love yourself, be one with yourself, and have open, honest communication with your partner. Always talk about what you want, how you see the future, and then we have to remember compromise and sacrifice are big parts of relationships. And if you're not willing to do that, don't enter a relationship.
Love that, Charlie. You couldn't have even said that better. And I must say, thank you very much for taking the time and coming to talk to us about relationships, how it is that it should be done, and how women, young women in particular, should enter relationships, because I believe that is so important. So, thank you.
You're welcome.